guys, and welcome back to another episode on Best Quote. So this episode still has to do with ability, and it talks about, this is an anonymous quote actually, and it goes thus: we rate ability in men by what they finish, not by what they attempt. Now this quote seems to be straightforward, but also it's still a little bit deep if you look at it critically, because rating ability in men by what they finish seems to say that no matter how skilled you are, no matter the effort you put into something, if you are not able to finish it, then you will not be given that credit. And this actually will not be far from the truth, given the way sports are being played, bettings are being done, competitions are being rated and things like that. If you made an attempt, good. That was just an attempt. That's as good as it can get. Or that's as good as you were able to get to, rather. But if you are able to finish, if you are able to win the competition, then you get the rating, the highest rating possible. So in this case, you will only rate men that are able to finish their project. So because a lot of people go out there, they start a project and they are not able to finish. They start a project because of the motivation of the moment. Maybe they listen to a motivational speaker or something, they are inspired by something suddenly, and they go out there and start something. But the next day or the next month or next year, they just feel like they've lost that motivation and they can't continue. So they are not able to finish, they are not able to deliver another project. So if you're not able to continue and see a project through, that means you don't have the discipline. And if you don't have the discipline, then you will not be rated as such, as having that ability. So because anybody can actually attempt anything. I mean, just think about it. Driving. Even those that don't know how to drive, they can just enter, start the car, start moving. Of course, they might eventually get to crash the car, but they attempted. So, and a lot of people can actually do a lot of things without seeing it through. So that doesn't mean that they have the skill. That doesn't mean that they have the ability. That doesn't mean that they have the discipline. So until you have that discipline to be able to see it through, to finish it, that is when you get that rating. That is when you get that, cheers that, you have tried. You deserve this ability. You deserve this, reward for what you're able to do. So whatever you do, if you can as well complete it, see it to fruition, see it to completion, I think you will even feel more fulfilled if you're able to complete whatever project you embark on. It makes you feel more fulfilled, just like having, when you have something like a to-do list, there is this feeling of, relief, or feeling of, there is this happy feeling that you get when you get to complete a project and then you cross it off. You're like, I was going to do this today. I said I was going to do this today or tomorrow, or within the next 2 hours, and I was able to complete it. It gives you this euphoric feeling that, yes, you completed something. It gives you the feeling that, yes, you tried. You are smart. You are able to deliver on a project that you said you would deliver on. So just attempting doesn't give you that same credibility. Just attempting, anybody can attempt. So if you are attempting, just know that if you are not able to see it through, then you don't have the discipline. Because seeing it through actually is about having the discipline. Seeing something to fruition, completing a project is about discipline. A lot of people don't have that discipline. It's just not there. And because they don't have it, that is why they find it difficult to finish a project. And this is not to say, like holier than thou and all of that. This affects almost everybody. It affects me, it affects you listening to this, it affects the next person and the next person. No one is perfect, but that is why we continue to work. And that is why podcasts like this are very great, because they get to, motivate you, tell you things that you might be doing subconsciously without even knowing. There are a lot of projects you are abandoning. There are a lot of things that you are not following through. And you don't even feel bad about them because you are not even conscious you are doing them. So, but when you listen to podcasts like this, Best Quote, and then you get to see this thing highlighted, and it gets you thinking, really for sure, there are a lot of things in your life right now. There are a lot of things, a lot of projects that you have abandoned halfway. Not because you cannot actually complete it, not because you don't have the skill, not because you don't have the ability to complete it, but out of laziness, you being lackadaisical about it, and sometimes distraction. Sometimes distraction is our biggest enemy. You have something you want to do, but you are distracted by other things that are not even important. Other things that by next week or next month you would have forgotten about them because they are not that important. But at the spur of the moment, you'll be feeling like you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. But in the long run, are those things really important? They might not really be. And then the main projects that will actually impact your life in a meaningful way, that will actually make you feel good about yourself. Remember, talk about having ability and all of that. The main projects that are going to put you in a position to get opportunities to be able to impact the world in a big way, you're actually abandoning them because of distractions. So a lot of people actually have that ability, but not being able to see a project to fruition is also something that tells a lot about you. Not being focused, being distracted easily, and of course, not also being disciplined. Because if you are disciplined, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the circumstance is, even though you get distracted, you will still turn around and finish the project. There's a saying in Igbo that it's not really who started the job, but it's the person that finished the job that is actually given the credit. I don't know if you get the quotes, something like if you start building a house, maybe you call in a contractor to start building the house and the person, went just a little bit, did the foundation, did this and then stopped and couldn't finish the job. Maybe for some reasons, maybe they got another project that paid them well and they abandoned their project and things, and different excuses come up, or maybe they are just not capable of completing the project anymore. And then you get someone else to finish up that project. Now, when that project is completed, the only person that people will remember a lot of times is the person that completed that project. Yes, someone started the project, yes. For those who were there when the project started, they might say, okay, this man actually worked on the project as well. But that's just a few portion of people that remember the first person. The person that people will give credit to will be the person at the helms of the affair, the person that finished that project. That person gets the credit. So, if you are having a project that you're running, if you are having something that you are doing, don't just attempt and then leave it. Attempt it and finish it. That is how you get the credit. That is how you get rewarded with whatever credit that comes with it. Being appreciated for doing that, being appreciated for having that skill, that capacity, and that tenacity to be able to complete the project is very important. So that's what this quote entails. That is what I understand by this quote, and that is the way it makes me feel, and that is the way it has improved me, knowing that I don't just have to attempt all the time, I have to attempt and finish. There are a lot of things you can attempt. A lot of people, almost everybody can attempt something. So what differentiates you with every other person that are attempting it is only when you're able to finish. That is when you differentiate yourself from the rest of people that are attempted. So if you attempted and you did not finish, then you are just like every other person. You didn't make any difference. So that's what I got to say on this, man, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and tell me what you feel about it. If you are listening on podcast, I really appreciate you. And if you do have the time, please check it out on YouTube as well. Thank you, and once again, thank you.